Hi there, everybody. This is Mark Bromley, your favorite artist and author of the Yoranthium book series. And today I am going to be showing you the AI image I found online that somebody else made. And it was so Verdus. I mean, it's Verdus. Here he is. This is Verdus, the concept behind the villainous character that you will be introduced in book two, the book of Jintru, and then you'll see more of it in book three of what the world looks like because of those kind of worldviews and those kind of globalist socialist Ghazi values that are going on currently in our modern times. Do you think that Ukraine war should be supported? You might want to let me know in the comments what you think about that, or tell me what you think about that, because if we recollect what the National Socialists are and the Global Socialists are and where they're from, Austria, Hungary, the WEF, World Economic Forum, Schwab and Soros from that region, and they have connections with the Nazis. I mean, Soros himself on Wikipedia had said that he created identifications, German identifications, so people could cross the borders and stuff. Uh, have access to a government identification machine means that you worked for the government, means that somehow you were connected to the government. There is no black market for identities in any government. I know how restricted access to identification machines are, the processes used to make identifications. I know exactly how they work through the personnel department in the United States Navy on two aircraft carriers. Um, And when they find a problem with identification, they use the one that's the most secure method. So there is no way that you can have a black market identification machine without the government actually allowing it to exist. So yeah, you have to work for the government to make identifications, plain and simple. And that was in the Wikipedia that I found that on. And anyways, the reason why I ask about the Ukraine thing is because in modern politics, there's billions of dollars being sent overseas to help fund this Ukraine war. But yet when you look at the statistics and the numbers and the stats, you realize that the Ukraine military does not have the manpower. They literally don't have the manpower. And what did Russia do? Russia sent mercenaries as their frontline troops. Their frontline invasion troops were a bunch of mercenaries that they just said, go in and take stuff. And that mercenary force got decimated pretty quickly because it just ran in there and did what it was told to do. And Russia kept its own military force, its real military force, in reserves. So the main frontline troops were in reserves while the reserve troops were sent to the front line. So why does our current politician, our current president, want to fund Ukraine? What is really going on there? Well, sure, some of that money is used to buy tanks, buy missiles, create and bolster the defense of Ukraine. That might be true. That might be the case. But back in World War II, if you study a little bit about the progressive Hitler viewpoints, the whole thing was about money, was about wealth, and how he was going to pay for their machines. And they went through Zurich, Switzerland, and these Swiss banks accounts through Austria, Hungary, and Liechtenstein. Is that the nation right there? That's a banking nation. That's why it's so wealthy. It just does banks. Um, Basically, these are just secure banking methods. Somehow, that money that's sent overseas of your tax-paying dollars here in the United States ends up in these Swiss banks, according to the National Socialist plans, which are now the Global Socialist plans through the WEF. And when you start looking at how much of that, how many billions might be getting trickled into a Swiss bank account from our tax-paying dollars through Congress, through the president creating executive orders to send this money over there. Not only that, we have money being spent over in the Middle East as well. A lot of that, all getting onto that kind of funding. Now you can see how the globalist socialists are funding themselves. It's based on the same principles of National Socialism. And that is part of some of the conditions that I talk about in the Uranthium book series that actually inspired the fantasy of the book series. And it comes right back to this image right here. Uh, Somebody else created this AI image, but it's an overlay of like a demon face and well, a popular figure face, and it just looked so Verdus. This is Verdus for the Uranthium book series. All I had to do just tweak the ears, put some points on him because he's an elf, and give him some red eyes because he's possessed with evil. And there we go. A perfect Verdus image for the Uranthium book series. And I thought it was really fantastic to sum it up this way. I know his hair color is a little wrong because when you run into Verdus, he's actually 26, probably about 26 years old when you run into him. And the 26, the 6 is very important as far as the Uranthium book series is concerned, because you'll see in the book two why he's 26. And is that right? 26. Yeah, that'd be right. And but his hair needs to be changed a bit. I think I need to dye it a little bit brownish or a little darker color, maybe blackish. One of the two. Because he's a little bit too old in this one. I have to smooth out some of the wrinkles, I suppose. But nonetheless, I found this image to be really funny and very, very spot on for the iteration of what Virtus truly looks like, what a demon looks like. And it's fantastic imagery, don't you think? I think it is. Anyways, this is Virtus of the Yoranthium book series, and I had to give you a big background of kind of what's going on, why global socialism is a bad thing for the world, and what it's actually based off of. I mean, I tell you, I've told you guys before, sociology, psychology, political science with a pinch of gender studies thrown in. I mean, gosh, those three fake and false and pseudosciences only began getting taught in in the late 1800s to early 19th century. They got put into our higher education. These are extreme philosophies, extremist philosophies. They give on to the concepts of that movie Metamorphosis. They give on to concepts of um, the jungle, Sinclair's The Jungle. They give on to concepts that created World War One, created World War Two, created the proliferation of radiological weapons, the use of atomic bombs, uh, the proliferation of chemical weapons, VX gas, Novichok nerve agents, and so on and so forth. This proliferation of biological warfare, biological agents as well, and all these atrocities of genocides, attempted genocides, forced labor, internment camps, these all came about because of sociology being the police of society, psychology being the police of the individual, with the reward being drugs, and political science, people who want to think that for a 4-year degree they should rule you and be your dictators and tyrants. Um, These are failed pseudosciences, fake sciences. These are the cult and the religion of government, the false religion of government. That's what these people, these three organizations, these extremists want. You know, Socrates and Aristotle, they already saw the effects of socialism, psychology, and political science being that of socialism, communism, national socialism, and global socialism. And they would always have be earmarked with progress, progress, progressive. Bad ideas of progressing too quickly, too rapidly, too soon, without actually understanding the human condition. Thinking that they knew the human condition, but they never did because they thought they were studying it. But in the end, it was just another form of oppression and tyranny. Socrates and Aristotle knew about that, and they wanted to protect against that to preserve their idea of democracy, which is still an alien concept to a lot of people. A lot of people still don't understand what democracy is. And it is a complicated thought process because no one's learning the true philosophy anymore. They've got sidetracked with these extremist philosophies. And if we're going to make a better world, we're going to have to rescind and roll back that extremist philosophies. We have to stop teaching sociology, psychology, and political science. Those things have to go to the wayside. We need to restore art, literature, and true philosophy back to the masses. And we would be better off rather than giving into these fake sciences that are just basically terrible forms of government rising in our own government. Anyways, I talk about that in the Yoranthium book series, and I just wanted to show you this AI generated Verdus here. And well, it's just using stock images. Lower half is a demon face, upper half, I think you guys know who that is. And the ears are mine, the eyes are mine, but that was just a simple little coloring thing. Uh, Not too much work went in that. I still have to dye the hair. This isn't the actual figure I'm going to be using, but I thought it was really funny, and I just wanted to share this with you because, I was creating some AI images with ChatGPT, but I found out that ChatGPT was giving me kind of, well, it's getting, well, too difficult to use, and the prompts were going my direction. It's just too blasey blasey, kind of bland. It's like asking a child to do your artwork for you. So as an artist, I still have to do my own artwork. I can't really rely on AI to be this way. But if I had the money and the resources to put into 3D programming and get the licenses for that, I'd probably do the 3D programming art. But I need funding and resources. I mean, I see some YouTubers trying to show off their talents, but if they're cutting off their fingers or they're losing limbs because they don't practice safety in their workplace and they're trying to spend yeah, if I had the tooling that they had, the warehouse that they had, the supplies that they had, if I had all that resource that they had for their art studios, then my art studio would be producing a lot better work. And I've been bitching about that for over 20 years, and still they keep me in poverty here in North Korea, Colorado. So yeah, fork up some money, buy my T-shirts, get my book series. Go to uranthiumbromley.com. Links below. You can also send me emails for specific orders, and we'll get to that, and we'll see what we can do and stuff like that. So let's be productive. Let's get this Yoranthium book series all produced because it seems that people in Hollywood have taken notice of my book series, and now they're regurgitating stuff that is kind of like a backbone, a starting point of concepts and ideas, and they're showing that in some of the retro showing that shows that they're doing. And well, get the Uranthium book series. Apparently, it is better than anything that any of these current writers and authors are trying to create. I shouldn't brag too much because I know they're watching. I know they're seeing my stuff, and they're going to start stealing my work because they always do it. They've done this ever since seventh grade. Yeah, when I was in seventh grade over at Huron Junior High, yeah, that's my first artwork got stolen, and ever since then, there's been a bunch of desperate people looking for ideas, and yeah, they like to steal from me and stuff like that. That's why I'm so frustrated not getting paid for my ideas and my concepts that it's just getting ridiculous that I really literally have to sue people for copyright infringement? My God, just pay me. Just pay me, make me happy. There you go. Simple. Okay, well, this is Vertus, and you guys have a great day.